Hello everybody, this is Andy, and welcome to episode 18 of Omnifactory. Now, we've got a lot of work to do, so let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I need to set up this assembler so we can make better circuits, and then I want to get an assembling line done, and I want to start progressing through the tiers of the Microminers a little bit faster. I kind of went the wrong way. In order to do that, we need to set up our IV assembling machine, and I just changed this line over to IV. So this is an IV CEF with Lumium cable, which is an IV cable. It's the IV lossless cable. And since we're doing well, I keep forgetting I have the crafting thing. Since we're doing well on Lumium, since I let this AFK overnight, we can handle this. And there we go. I have this set up. We can craft it IV, except for these two things, the qubit CPUs, which we were working on last time a little bit, and we should be able to finish right now, and the multi-layer fiber reinforced circuit boards right here, which we can also craft right now. It's actually fairly simple. I just need an HV chemical reactor. Alright, and I know this is a little bit of a jump, but now we're producing the multi-layer fiber reinforced circuit boards. I'm just going to need to order a storage. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I need to order a storage bus for this guy. And what we're doing is we're supplying both the things we need with an interface and then supplying the sulfuric acid with a fluid interface. I'm making the electrum foil and the electrum plates over here. It'll stack up to 8 stacks, or it'll stack up to 16 stacks, and that'll be fine. So I can use that in other things, but also it's fully automated with no crafting cards. So let's go ahead and look at the qubit CPU wafers now. These are the big ones right here. We can make nano CPUs, fine, and I think we have a backlog of them, right? Yes, I have around 3,000 of them, and that means we should be able to just automate quantum eyes and gallium arsenide fluid. Do we have, wait, hold on. Did I automate gallium arsenide fluid? It appears as though we did. So I have 64 in here, 64 more ingots to melt down, and it looks like a 512 backup ingots, which is pretty good. Sorry if I don't really know what's going on, like with my systems. It's been 5 days since I've played this pack. I kind of went on vacation, so haven't been playing for a little bit, but we'll get back into it. I believe last time I set up this thing to make improved ender eyes. However, I set it up to make them on demand with this recipe right here. I don't remember quite why I did that, probably for the field generator. However, I'd rather have them available at all times. I'm not fully automating, actually, I was gonna say I'm not fully automating the Eye of Enders because they're a little annoying to fully automate. However, I just need a chemical reactor and to make blaze powder. Let me do this really quickly. Okay, here we are. I'm automatically crafting the Eye of Enders. It'll back up to 8 stacks, which is more than enough. I think more than I'll ever need, at least. So we should be able to automatically craft these quantum eyes now because I'm supplying it with Eyes of Ender. Okay, so we already have 42. Let's set up another, is it cutting machine? No, it would be, is it chemical reactor? Hello, okay. Yes, I need a chemical reactor. Guess what? We're still doing this by hand. So, I need to gather up a couple stacks of paper. And here is the system. It's not the prettiest. I have this item conduit running up and around. However, what we have going on here is the reaction to make the qubit CPU whatever wafer thing. Then it turns those in the cutting machine into the CPU, like the actual piece, and then those get shoved into here, and it will say when I have, I have a level emitter down here that says when I have 2,000 of these guys, I can turn off. Essentially what that means is that it's going to back stuff in here, and just I'll have a couple hundred extra of the qubit CPUs shoved into these two machines. However, the qubit CPU wafers never touch the system because they're not used for anything else, so we don't even have to level emit this guy. The system is going to struggle for a little bit because my gallium arsenide is falling. Yeah, I had 270 a couple minutes ago, and it's slowly producing the liquid which is being used in the reaction, and it's not the prettiest, and it uses 2 ingots per reaction, so it's going to struggle for a little bit, but once we catch up, we'll be in a very good place. However, that does mean, since we have both of those automated, we can now start using this fourth and final tier 4 circuit, which is pretty cool. I think I have everything I need for it. Let me just shove it into the IV assembling machine, which is the lowest tier that it can be done in, I think. Yep, that is getting everything it needs, I think. Let's go ahead and request some. So tier 4 and craft me, no, let's not do 100. Let's do 20. And it looks like we're missing the multi-layer fiber reinforced circuit boards, which probably means I just forgot to storage bus them. Let me go do that really quickly. And now, if we say 20 of these, it should be perfectly fine. Let's press go and see if the machine starts up in just a minute. Oh, it looks like it did. Okay, it's a little bit slow. However, it makes 4 at a time, so we shouldn't even have to really worry about it. Now, I'm not going to fully automate. Actually, I think since we're doing it this way, we actually need to upgrade our tier 5 circuits as well. We need to upgrade our tier 5 and tier 6 circuits. Actually, these are a little expensive. They're using chrome, which I actually have a bunch of now. I forgot AFK'd, and the ruby making thing over there that's being electrolyzed into chrome should be, or it shouldn't be working faster. It just has been working for a while, so it's got a little bit of a backlog. Now I should just be able to shove these 2 recipes right here, which, let me show you them really quickly. This is the first one. This is actually really cheap. However, the really cool thing is with these second tier 6s, we can now make an assembly line and begin producing LUV stuff. We can make tier 7 circuits, I believe now. Yep, first tier 7. However, I'm not going to just throw these 2 recipes into this IV assembling machine. I don't think that's a very good use of our time. What we're going to do is make 2 more of the IV assembling machines, which I already ordered, and it's slowly getting crafted up, and we're going to give each of them their own recipe, or their own assembling machine for their recipes. So what I'm going to have is I'll probably just run a cable into the other 2 assembling machines to use a soldering alloy, and we should just be able to go from there. And here we go. This is the final little bit of the assembly machine setup, and I'm making one of the tier 6s just to make sure everything works, and it appears as though we are perfectly fine. So with these, I can actually make the tier 7s, but we need an assembly line. Assembly line is going to come soon, but not at this exact moment. What I want to do first is make the medium Microverse Projector, which I have everything for in my inventory, and think about making some of these tier 4 Microminers. I should have everything able to be auto-crafted or set up very quickly to make these. And here we go. I decided to actually make it outside because I don't really have enough room anywhere down there. So it's here now. Also, this has to very specifically use the purple, what is it? It's like purple, yeah, purple space block of diamond. I don't know why it won't form unless you do that. So there we go. It is formed. I just need to supply it with energy and export rocket fuel into this thing, and we should be able to begin sending off medium Microverse Projector missions. Actually, that's really odd. Apparently the medium Microverse Projector ones don't use fuel. They just have something in here that, like, I guess counts as fuel, like the stabilized plutonium, stabilized uranium, more plutonium. Petrothium, I think, is what this one's fuel technically is. Same for here. So yeah, we don't need to put rocket fuel in these. Do I need rocket fuel for the large Microverse Projector? Let us see. Okay, we have that. And no, it appears rocket fuel is only for the lowest tier. That's really odd. I didn't think that was how it was, but I guess it is. Okay, everything is all connected up. It's not the prettiest, but I am kind of rushing towards the creative tank right now. I don't really care how pretty this looks because once I get the creative tank, I'm going to redo my entire base and we're going to move elsewhere. Before we go sending off too many higher tier rockets, first, let's go ahead and set up some automation. However, we do have one issue. I'm going to have to send off a couple of these tier 4s because we need to get a little bit of osmium and a little bit of iridium. This is for osmiridium ingots, which is made just basically in a blast furnace by combining them together with a little bit of helium. However, I think we have a bunch of helium, right? Yeah, 419 buckets, that should be good. The main issue is we have to craft a couple by hand. And it looks like these aren't going for some reason. What's going on? I'm ordering the components for one of the... Where are you? Are you not auto-exporting anymore? What's wrong with you? Okay, I think I broke it accidentally. I was trying to get a quest done, and I broke it. My fault. So I'm ordering up the components for 2 of these, so we can send them off, get a bit of osmium, a bit of iridium, and then we can make the packaged auto stuff. When we get there, I'll explain it to you. However, let me finish crafting up a couple of these Tier 4 Microminers. Alright, here we are, crafting our first 2 Tier 4 Microminers. Hopefully, the last extended crafting things that we'll have to do by hand. I just need to put this in here and say that these things make that, and there we go. Okay, so I need to send this off in my large Microverse Projector with some of this stuff. Okay, so quantum flux, petroleum, and with around data, which it looks like I can make. Let me make this stuff, and we can send these guys off. Everything is gathered, and now I should just be able to shove it in here. Actually, before I do this, let me go back to my IMI terminals and set up a pattern that says these things right here turn into osmium and iridium. Let me figure this out really quickly. Alright, I figured it out, and let us send these 2 bad boys off to space. Oop, I guess I can only put one of them in right now until this petroleum leaves, right? Yep, there we go. And then the next one will go after it. Let's make sure we're not losing power. We shouldn't be. This thing can accept, I think, 250,000 RF a tick, so we should be good. This process only uses, what is it? 15,000 RF a tick? That's basically nothing. That's basically like spitting. I don't know. I'm not I'm not awake enough to come up with a good metaphor, but we're almost done with our first one, which means we can shove it into our ore processing system. So give me a second and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go, and it automatically went on to the second one. It looks like perfect. Let me see. Is it... Oh, it's not going to enter our system because I forgot to import it into our system. Interesting. Let me grab an ender chest then, right? Yeah, one of these guys. And there we go. The stuff that comes out of the medium Microverse Projector is now going into our IMI system. So we can run over to our ore processing area and shove these in here and start them processing. Let's start with osmium. Osmium is a pretty easy one, actually. We essentially just want to go through the entire process with it because it always gives us more iridium. So let's shove it into the ore washing. Where am I last? Okay, right there. And it should begin getting processed. Okay, let's go over here and put a little bit of iridium in then, because we're also starting to get a little bit. Oh, that must be from the pulverizing step. I got confused. Like, where did I get iridium from before? That's definitely not something I've gathered before. Okay, iridium right there. And it should go into the pulverizers just fine. And let me check on my osmium. Oh, good. We already have half a stack of this, which means I can shove it into my second set of macerators right here. And it'll start going, and I'm going to finish up this process on my own because you guys know how it works. You don't need to watch it. I'll be right back. The way it turns out, I think, is I get more osmium from iridium than I get from osmium, and I think I get more iridium from osmium than I do from actual iridium, which is fine with me. I'm a little bit low on osmium compared to iridium because you only get 16, and you get, I think, 2 stacks of iridium, so that is literally no problem of mine. I am completely okay with that. Now I just need to set up a couple blast furnaces to blast these guys, and it looks like we're going to need to set up a secondary line as well, because I need 3 more blast furnaces. Okay, here we are. We're producing, I believe, iridium in this one. Yep, and osmium in this one. It's kind of slow, but we've already got a couple pieces, which means we can make the couple pieces of osmium iridium that we need, or osmiridium that we need. So I have 5 osmium and 7 iridium. How is this made? 3 iridium to 1 osmium plus a little bit of helium. That should be fine. Okay, back on the other side, I am now producing osmiridium, and I've got my first couple of pieces. For now, let's actually check what is this used for. Osmiridium plates, it looks like, are used to make... crystalline, solar panels. I might want to actually make some of these solar panels here, so I'm going to remember this recipe. However, it doesn't look like we're going to need a ton of osmiridium. Ooh, actually, we are going to need a ton of osmiridium. So let's set it for 1,000 right now. That should be good. I also gave myself a little bit more walking space right here because I was starting to lose my mind trying to squeeze back into here. Also, you're disabled. What are you? Vanadium? That means I probably have 2,000 vanadium. Okay, we're doing really well with the vanadium, gallium, and the vanadium. I've got a ton of vanadium dust left over. Now that I've got around 20 pieces of osmiridium, that probably means that I can order a couple of these package crafters. So let me get everything I need. It looks like I haven't automated advanced components yet. Okay, I'm going to do that, and I'll grab all the stuff that we need for packaged auto and extended crafting, and we will be back. Okay, so I've gathered up everything we need, except I might order a couple of these package recipe encoders. Ooh. Let's order one. Yep. Crystalline is something that I need to make in the extended crafting table, so I can't really... I just made like half a stack to get us started. But what we can do, I think, is just shove this in here and say, I want you to craft tier 5 microminers in this thing. And I guess it does it weird. Hold on. Can I try that again? I guess it's accepting it. Oh, wait, it's a processing pattern. We need it to be in this one. And now it should go right in there. Okay, perfect. And that becomes 2 of these packages. So we hit save, I think, and then I can put this into a packager, I believe, and it should package. So I think this has to be connected to the AE system, does it not? Let's see, does it connect up? No, it doesn't actually. Huh. Okay, since packaged auto is slightly more confusing than I thought it was going to be, let me do the very, very simple basic explanation of how this thing works. So first things first, you need a packager and an unpackager. These guys need the package recipe holders, which you can go onto your packaged recipe encoder and create packages. This package has my elite crafting microminers, and I actually included the recipes for some later microminers that we don't have yet, but, you know, once we have the materials, we'll be able to do it, and I won't have to pull these recipes out and do it again. What you do then, once you have encoded the recipe, you have to choose which crafting table you're doing it on, by the way. Once you have encoded the recipe, you shove it into the packager. The packager can be anywhere on your system. Like, this packager could be on the other side of the base in my EV area. It doesn't really matter. All that this packager is going to do is create an item package. This item package is going to contain 9 items. If your recipe uses more than 9 items, it's going to use a multiple recipe or multiple packages. So if you have, say, 11 items, you're going to have one of these with 9 items and another one with 2 items. So what you're going to do with this package is you're going to create something in your ME network that turns the package with the items in it, into the other thing. As you can see right here, I kind of have it set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the tier 2 microminer package into here. It only has like 8 items in it, so it doesn't need 2 packages. And then what I'm going to do is go over to my unpackager, which is connected to an advanced package crafter on blocking mode. I would highly recommend using blocking mode on this thing because this thing does not craft automatically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to manually do the first one myself. So I shove it into here, and it unpackages it and shoves it into here and does the recipe itself. So once this bar finishes, it's going to automatically export into the ME system as long as it's connected. So we can now go in here and see that we have a tier 2 microminer in the system. So then we can just go over here and say this package right here turns into a tier 2 microminer, encode the recipe, shove it into an interface on the back of the packager right here, or the unpackager right here, and I should be good to go. Which one of these is the right one? This one. So now if I go into here and say I want a tier 2 microminer, make me one of those. It's going to do this, and it's going to make the package right here, send the package to the unpackager, craft it right here, and then give it to my ME system. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Okay, as you can see, as this thing finishes crafting up, it's just making the Microminer engine core, which I think is happening somewhere over there, but it should be done fairly soon. And there we go, it just finished up, which means the recipe went into the unpackager and is now in here crafting. And it'll auto export into the ME system just like it did the first time, and now we have another tier 2 microminer to make 2 total tier 2 microminers, which is perfect. So that is the basics of the auto or a packaged auto system. It's a little bit complicated and the mechanics are a little odd for what it's supposed to do and how I've gotten it to work. However, I'm pretty happy with it. So let me add in a couple more, or let me add in my elite packager and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. I've hooked up all of the microminers that we are able to craft right now to packaged auto, so I can now say order literally scheelite or tungstate or vanadium magnetite directly from the system. I just have to order this recipe right here, and I order one of these and it makes the thing, and then it gets sent automatically into the this guy right here. It gets sent into this packager via an export bus, and it unpackages it, sends it into here, and gives me the stuff that I want. So basically what that means is if I order the recipe right here that says 64 of all of those things, say I'm running low on tungsten, I want one of these, it'll make me the thing, send it directly into the place where it needs to go, and give me the stuff automatically. So now we can automate extended crafting recipes over here and within those things, and our processing is a little bit better. And now that we've done that, let's go ahead and progress a little bit further. We're going to need some of this HSSG dust for the future, so let me make as much as I can right there. I think that's everything that I ordered, so that should be good. And we can go ahead and blast furnace this to get the hot HSSG ingots. And these HSSG ingots right here are going to be used in LUV machines. If you check through, well, wait, is it the plates that are used in LUV machines? I don't know. I think, oh, it's used in the assembly line. That's what we need it for. So we're going to need a lot of these because we're going to need a lot of HSSG for these different LUV components. So let me go ahead and set up a blast furnace for that, and we'll start producing as much as we can. And this is the blast furnace right here that is slowly producing our HSSG ingots. They're being cooled in our vacuum freezer, which is still easily keeping up with all that we're demanding of it, and we're doing well. Okay, so let's go ahead and maybe, wait, do I have to pick one of these guys up? I think I need to pick one of these guys up for a quest, right? Yep, high-speed steel type G. That is in the mid-game? I thought it was in the mid-game. Nope, never mind. Looks like it's in the late game because it's used to make these coil blocks, which are used to make Naquata, which is used to make a lot of other things and is a necessary component for advancing. However, we've gotten a fair bit done today. We got a lot of circuits done. We got a couple, not a couple, we got one microminer done, but a lot of stuff done around microminers so we can get them faster and do their processes a lot easier with packaged auto, which is going to be a huge part of the late game of this pack. So I hope you guys did enjoy. Next time, we'll make an assembly machine, I promise. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.